Hello everyone, welcome to this session on anomaly detection in credit card transactions. In this video, we will explore how machine learning techniques, specifically isolation forests and autoencoders, can be used to identify suspicious or fraudulent transactions. We will go over the key concepts, datasets, algorithms, and evaluation methods used in detecting fraud and securing financial transactions. Anomaly detection is the process of identifying patterns in data that do not conform to expected behavior. When it comes to credit card transactions, anomaly detection is crucial for spotting fraudulent activity early before it causes significant financial loss. Fraud detection systems use machine learning models to distinguish between legitimate transactions and those that could indicate fraudulent behavior. Anomaly detection offers several benefits. First, it helps in the early identification of fraud, preventing potential financial losses. Second, it reduces the overall financial risk for both businesses and customers. And finally, it ensures the security of transaction environments by continuously monitoring for unusual patterns of behaviors. In this anomaly detection process, several key modules are used. First, data processing is essential. This includes handling missing data, scaling and normalizing transaction data, and applying feature engineering techniques such as creating new features based on transaction history, like average spending or frequency of transactions. Next, we use two primary machine learning algorithms, isolation forest and autoencoders. Isolation forest is a tree-based algorithm designed for anomaly detection, while encoder are neural networks to learn data representations and detect anomalies based on reconstruction errors. Finally, evaluation metrics such as precision, recall, and F1 score are used to assess the effectiveness of these models. These matrices help us understand how well our models are performing in detecting fraud and how accurately they identify fraudulent transactions. The dataset used in this case is the credit card fraud detection dataset from Kaggle, which is commonly used for training fraud detection models. The dataset includes features such as time of the transaction, anomalized principal components like V1, V2 till V28, amount of transaction, and a class label that indicates whether the transaction was fraudulent, that is class 1, or legitimate, that is class 0. One of the major challenges when working with this data set is the imbalance between legitimate and fraudulent transactions. Fraudulent transactions are rare, so this makes it difficult for the model to correctly classify anomalies. Additionally, the dataset may contain noise, irrelevant data that could affect the performance of our models. This is why proper pre-processing steps are crucial to ensure accurate results. One of the key algorithms used in this presentation is isolation forest, a tree-based method designed specifically for anomaly detection. Unlike traditional anomaly detection methods that try to profile normal data, isolation forest isolates anomalies. It works by randomly selecting features and splitting the data recursively, with anomalies being easier to isolate in a decision tree structure. The algorithm assigns a score to each transaction based on how easily it can be isolated. If a transaction is difficult to isolate, it's likely normal. If it can be isolated quickly, it's flagged as an anomaly. Advantage of isolation forests include its scalability for large datasets and suitability for high decisional data, making it a great option for fraud detection in high volume transaction environments. Another powerful algorithm used is autoencoders. Autoencoders are a type of neural network used for unsupervised learning. They consist of two parts: the encoder, which compresses the data into a lower dimensional representation, and the decoder, which attempts to reconstruct the original data from the compressed version. Anomalies are detected based on the reconstruction error. If the error is high, it indicates that the model struggled to reconstruct the input, suggesting that the transaction is an anomaly. Advantage of autoencoders include their ability to capture complex, non-linear patterns in data, making them especially useful for detecting intricate fraud patterns that simpler models might miss. Now, let's look how these models are implemented. First, data pre-processing is crucial. We start by scaling and normalizing the features to bring all variables to a comparable scale. This helps improve the performance of both isolation forest and autoencoder models. We also need to handle the class imbalance using techniques like SMOT, which generates synthetic samples of the minority class, that is fraudulent transactions, or we can use undersampling to reduce the number of normal transactions in the dataset. Once the data is pre-processed, we train the isolation forest model by adjusting hyperparameters such as the number of trees and estimators, the maximum number of samples per tree, that is max samples, and the contamination factor, which indicates the proportion of anomalies expected in the data. For the autoencoder model, we create a neural network with an encoder and a decoder. The network is trained using mean squared error, that is MSE, to minimize the difference between the input and its reconstructed version. After training the model, we need to evaluate their performance. For isolation forest, we use traditional matrices such as accuracy, precision, recall, and F1 score. Precision and recall are especially important in fraud detection as we want to minimize false positives and false negatives. For autoencoders, we measure the reconstruction error. If the error is high, the transaction is flagged as anomalous. The performance can be evaluated using ROC curves and AUC, which help us understand the trade-off between sensitivity, that is recall, and specificity, precision, in detecting fraudulent transactions. While anomaly detection can be powerful, it does come with challenges. One of the biggest hurdles is the imbalance in data. Fraudulent transactions are far less common than legitimate ones, making it harder for the model to identify fraud accurately. Another challenge is dealing with false positives. A legitimate transaction may be flagged as fraudulent, causing unnecessary intervention and inconvenience for customers. Additionally, fraudsters constantly evolve their tactics, so the model needs to be regularly updated and retrained to adapt to new fraud techniques. This makes anomaly detection an ongoing process that requires continual monitoring and improvements. In conclusion, both isolation forest and autoencoder are effective tools for anomaly detection in credit card transactions. They help detect fraud early, preventing financial losses and securing the transaction environments. However, the models must be continually retained to adapt to changing fraud patterns. Looking ahead, we can explore assemble models that combine the strengths of both isolation forests and autoencoders to improve detection accuracy. Furthermore, implementing a real-time detection system could allow us to flag and block fraudulent transactions instantly, providing a more proactive approach to fraud prevention. Thank you for watching till the end. If you did like to learn more about the dataset, algorithms, and techniques discussed in this video, here are the references used in this presentation. The credit card fraud detection dataset can be found on Kaggle, while the isolation forest and in autoencoder algorithms are well documented in scikit-learn and deep learning with Python by Francis Collette. Please feel free to check them out for more in-depth details. Do not forget to subscribe the channel. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Till then, keep learning, keep growing.